How's things going, man?
Good. Yes. Yeah. I mean, obviously, I had to make a few sleep changes quickly to get used to that because it's going to be so weird fighting in the fighting. I'm going to probably be fighting 5 a.m. in the morning over there, so that's going to be weird. And weigh-ins at night. That's everything is switched around. So I mean, but luckily I've been doing my sleep schedule. I've been getting it 100% right. Waking up at 3 a.m., going to sleep at 7 in evenings for 5 days now. So I'm getting used to that. So it's good.
Okay. So you say you've made some changes. I know you said you've got to get to bed pretty early and up pretty early. What's exactly your sleep schedule like right now?
Yeah, I mean, I get home from training around 6. Grab my last meal. I'm in bed by 7. I'm try to be asleep by 7 and waking up at 3 a.m. And then I'm in the gym at 5 a.m. again doing our session. So I get used to performing at that. And then we do I mean, it's light sparring, but we're doing our fight distance at 5 a.m. in the morning. So because that's going to be the time over there that we're going to be fighting at. So getting my body used to that.
So who's the lucky guys that have to match your sleep pattern?
Poor McHugh and Cameron and Monet, they all there, and Henny is there as well. So we're everybody that needs to be there is there. So I mean, for them it's not ideal, but I mean, it is what it is.
you gotta move around the champ now. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, dude. Firstly, I guess massive congratulations on your signing. I know it's been a long time coming, and it wasn't the smoothest of roads. I know it's something you've been pushing for quite some time. So just talk us through how this all came about. I mean, obviously the last time we spoke was quite heavy into lockdown. There were some issues with being released by KSW, and just fill us in the gap on how that all panned out.
Yeah, I mean, I was preparing for UFC fight at light heavyweight. And actually also for October when the event was scheduled for then. And my management and myself, we got to agreement with KSW. So obviously there's a percentage of money for this fight that I have to pay to KSW, and for them to release me. So that was totally worth it. And I think they made a fair deal with that. They didn't hold me on. I mean, that's basically the initial investment in me that they wanted back. So, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's definitely worth it. And I'm just glad we could smooth that over, and it wasn't too bad for all of us. Yeah, then we got the release form because if the UFC wanted me to fight, then I would be available. And it wasn't even 2 days after we got that release agreement from KSW that my agent phoned me. I was busy training on the Monday last week. And he said, listen, somebody's pulled out. Are you willing to take a fight on short notice for the UFC? And I'm like, well, short notice, how many hours do I have to pack? And they were like, no, it's 2 weeks. And I said, no, okay, man, that's perfect. 2 weeks ago, listen, I can do that, no problem. And yeah, so obviously, as far as weight cut goes, I was scheduled to fight at 93. Now I'm at 84. I'm fighting middleweight. So that's the only big change. But luckily, we've got my body since the move from welterweight up to middleweight. My diet's much more balanced. I'm walking around on a healthy weight. I'm not dieting all the time. I'm feeling good. So as soon as I cleaned it up and started to go down, the weight came down pretty easily, and everything is on track.
Fantastic, man. You say you were ready to pack your bags. Did they give you an opponent's name, or were you just ready to go regardless of who it was?
No, I mean, they said, am I willing to step up? And I said, yes. I didn't know who's the opponent. I don't know what's up. And then they said, okay, this is the guy. They'll let me know in a few hours. They just want to know if I'm willing to take the fight at short notice. I said yes. And the next day they phoned and said it's official, and I got my contract.
Awesome, man. That's fantastic. And Marcus Perez, your opponent, how much do you know about him? And do you have to now sit and go and do some studying, or you kind of just go?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen him because of the Joker face and everything. When they sent me the name, I immediately went to, obviously Googled, went on Topology, checked out who it is, and then I recognized him. Got Fight Pass, went on Fight Pass, checked out all of his fights, and immediately started to see, is he a southpaw orthodox fighter? Is he a grappler, wrestler, striker? What is he all about? And we all watched his fights quite a few times, and we have everything we need to know. Like I always say, I don't really go to fight according to how my opponent fights. I focus on my game plan. But it's always good to see just what you're in for and what your guys' strengths and weaknesses, and to watch out for a few things. And we already did that. We already know exactly what he's like, what he fights at. He doesn't have anything particularly good, but he's pretty well rounded. So that's one thing he has. He's not dangerous in one aspect, very dangerous. He's a pretty all round fighter.
Okay. What I want to ask you is, what are your emotions like right now? You know, you're on the eve of getting a flight to Abu Dhabi to what's a historic fight island. You know, it's finally at the hurdle I'm sure you've been dreaming about for a long time, doing all of the UFC stuff, checking in media day, going through the weigh-ins. Obviously, it's going to be a bit strange with no crowds, but I'm sure that doesn't really matter to you right now. But just talk us through the emotions, man, how that all feels to finally get that signature on that UFC contract.
Yeah, I mean, the first few days it was so surreal to me. I wasn't convinced that it's happening until I signed the contract, and I signed the contract, and I was still not convinced until everything became more official. It was just I mean, I got the contract on my phone, signed the fight contract, and there we go. And it almost feels like everything needs to be different, but nothing's different. It's a weird place. And then you start thinking about the fight. I mean, I didn't even get a chance to think about the fight. I just signed the contract and went all in. Then I started to think, okay, well, I mean, who are you fighting? What's this guy like? What, And then all the admin. I mean, the amount of paperwork that needs to go into this on short notice, it was unbelievable. And that's not my strong suit. Luckily, my girlfriend was great. She was helping me a lot with all the admin stuff, getting doctor's appointments, getting scans done, getting blood work done, COVID testing, making sure everything is 100% for the visa on short notice. It was getting a teammate to be because it was such short notice. People had plans, and not everybody can just take 10 days off to go to Abu Dhabi, and. Michiel was supposed to go with me, and unfortunately he had a course booked, so he could only come through on the 7th, and they said that's impossible because of the COVID rules. So we all need to leave on the Thursday. So I mean, but we got that all sorted out in a short period of time. It was so hectic. I didn't even get a chance to think about the fight, and now all the paperwork is basically done. It's crazy. It feels just like every other fight. It's just I know it's going to be in the UFC, and I can't wait to experience the whole journey. It's this week, 5 weeks coming up. I'm going to be busy. I know that's going to be awesome. As soon as I get on that plane, everything is almost going to calm down. Even though it will be chaos once you get on the island with all the media and all that. That's the kind of chaos that I thrive in. That makes me comfortable. As soon as that starts happening, time goes by faster. It's closer to the fight, and all the hard work's basically done. Then it's just staying ready and injury free and making sure that everything goes smooth. Then the only worry then is the weight cut, which is not a big worry for me. My weight is at a point now where worst case scenario I do make weight, and so I mean for me right now it's just I can't wait to be a part of it and finally realize that dream of fighting in the UFC and taking it all in from media from getting to the airport, fighting on Fight Island. I mean, that's insane debut to make on the main card. It's going to be insane. I'm really ecstatic about the whole experience. Is going to be awesome.
Awesome, man. You mentioned Fight Island there. How excited are you to get there and experience all of that? I mean, I was fortunate enough to be in Abu Dhabi last year, and it's crazy there, man. Everything is just a bit crazy, and it's very warm. So pack your shorts.
Yeah, no, I heard the temperature is crazy. I heard it's so hot outside, but I've heard about Uncle Dana saying, listen, if it comes to hospitality, they're second to none. So I think I'm in for a real treat. And what better place to make your debut than on a historic fight island in times like these? I mean, getting used to no crowd, that's gonna be strange, but it's still gonna be insane. It's going to be I'm going to be one of those guys that are going to say I was in the Venom era and I was also in the Reebok era. It's going to be I was in I fought in a time where there was no crowd. So I mean that all adds up to great memories and to it all makes the journey more eventful, and it's going to be great.
Awesome, man. You mentioned this that your fight is going to be on the main card. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm the third main card bout. So
awesome.
the third last fight.
So we don't have to be up at 3 a.m. We can get a few
no.
more minutes.
My fight, it starts at 4 to 6, the main card. I should be on around 5-ish.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah, so it's great. Icebreaker, getting that first fight on the main card. That's awesome.
That is fantastic. I just wanted to ask you, we got to see your UFC weight division at the top echelon on display this weekend. What did you make of the fights this past weekend?
Yeah, I mean, Israel Adesanya just showed again his technical striking is out of this world. There's nobody that's really on his level with the technical strike for strike. You can't fight that way. I think Paulo Costa is a brilliant athlete, and I think he's a scary human being. I honestly I thought that was probably the worst performance of his career, not just because Izzy did so great, but I think ego and attitude got him in trouble there. I think he underestimated the speed and accuracy and precision of Izzy. I think he thought that he could take all this stuff because he's a tough guy. He could take all the shots. But, once you eat those low kicks, no matter how tough you are, if you eat 4 or 5 big low kicks, he ate a lot more than that, your power just goes away. And, Paulo Costa's strength lies in his power and his ability to go forward and bang and hit hard shots from inside the pocket. Whereas Izzy wants to stay on the outside and land those single straight punches, single kicks, single punches, and accurate strikes. And Paulo Costa just fought exactly into Izzy's game plan. He just stood there. He stood still target right in front of him, and he tried to play Izzy's game with him. And that's not how it works. Paulo Costa is a powerful guy. He's not the most accurate guy. He's not the most, I would say, he doesn't have a quick head kick, for example, but he threw that head kick as if he was throwing it as if he was Israel Adesanya, and Israel Adesanya would beat him in that game all day, every day, and we saw that exactly happening. He was fighting a very stupid game plan, in my opinion. I think he should have, put pressure on Adesanya if he wanted to beat him, but obviously Adesanya being a champion he was, his movement was great, and he forced Izzy to fight right into his strengths.
One of the narratives when it ended, and I thought when you were going to jump on here, it might be quite a nice thing to ask you. Everyone was talking about this Paulo Costa who never arrived. Do you think that's true, or was there a lot to do with, like you said, the low kicks, the feints that made him hesitant, and then it was just too late by the time he had eaten a couple of leg kicks?
Yeah, I honestly feel that Costa underestimated the striking of Izzy. I think he thought that he could take everything Izzy gives, and then he would eventually get him closed up. That's not the way it works. The whole purpose of fighting is to hit and not get hit. And he was taking unnecessary shots, and he was making a spectacle out of it. He was making a show, and it was all for the crowd, and that's all good. But you can't be doing that when you're getting your leg chopped off. You can't be eating strikes and still making, fighting for the crowd. There comes a time where the showmanship stops. This is 50-50 of entertainment and fighting. There comes a time where all the hype needs to stop and you have to actually step up and fight. And, he did the whole hype right. He did the leading up to the fight. I think the build-up was amazing. The hype was great. But when fight night came, Izzy came to fight, and Costa just didn't come to fight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We'll let you go soon. Just the last couple of questions. I'm sure you've got another busy day ahead of you, admin, training, weight cutting, preparing for a flight. Ooh, talking about flights, do you think you're going to be in one of those fancy-ass first-class cabins on the way to Abu Dhabi?
No, I didn't get it yet. I think I need to prove myself first.
Main card treatment. We got to see some main card treatment here at UFC. What kind of rubbish is this?
Yeah, I think maybe they still not they're not believers yet. But hopefully after this event we can get some first class main card treatment.
Maybe on the way back, if you put on a good show, you're going to get a first class cabin.
Bonus, and I'll make sure we fly home first class.
Fantastic. What I wanted to ask you, two last questions, Dricus. The first one, if by chance there's international people that watch this skit that have never seen you fight before, I'm sure it's highly unlikely because it's everywhere to see. What can fight fans around the world expect to see from you making your debut in the UFC?
I think they can expect, if they've never seen me fight before, a high-paced fight. I've been training for 5-rounders for the last 5 years. I've been only fighting for 5-round fights, fighting title fights. So the 3-rounder for me, I can really push that pace, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm training at extreme high altitude. I'm going to sea level to fight. My opponent in his past fight has shown fatigue throughout the fight, and that's something I'm going to look to exploit. I'm going to put on a pace like I always do, and I'm going to look for this finish. This guy has never been finished before, and I've never not finished a fight. So for me, this is a big battle, and let's see if he can keep that unfinished record. But I highly doubt it. I'm going in there to get that finish as soon as possible, and I'm most definitely chasing that performance bonus. So finish for that, a finish most definitely, and that performance bonus. So I'm going out there to be the best Dricus that's ever stepped in a cage, and what better day to do that than on your UFC debut?
And the last one from me, sir, any message you'd like to give to the South African fans and supporters? I know yesterday, like I sat with goosebumps the whole day watching all of the support just pouring out for you. You know, we're a very small community of MMA fans here in SA, and everybody just put their hands up just to let you know that they're backing you 100%.
Yeah, I mean, thank you so much, South Africa. I've been receiving support beyond even what I knew. People watched MMA. People I thought never even watched MMA. Other sports stars, other fighters, fellow fighters, former opponents, potential opponents. Everybody just stepped up, and everybody it just gives me that much more motivation to go out there and carry the flag, and like others in our country have done, and go out there and just realize that giving up is not an option. And people just seeing the hard work and people appreciating it, and people showing me that people are recognizing me as a guy that worked hard to get where I am, and that I'm deserving of this. And it's truly amazing, and it makes me feel, it just makes you feel like South Africa is such a brilliant country. It's amazing to see how people can come together and support one man. It's not a team. It's just one man from one country, and it makes me feel like I'm basically fighting for our whole country, and it's all the motivation in the world. So thank you, every single person that reached out. Thank you for all the support, and I really appreciate it, and I won't let you down.
Fantastic, man. You always have been the consummate professional, and I've seen your hard work in the gym with my own eyes. So you're definitely well deserving, and we're very proud of you already, brother. We wish you all the best. I know it's going to be a long bit of a weight cut flight and doing all of that stuff, and I know it's quite hectic once you get into the ground there of the UFC, but 100%, I'm sure there'll be lots of shouting and screaming on the Sunday morning of your fight, and we wish you all the best, man, and congratulations again, Dricus.
Thank you so much. I'll see you all at the after party when we get back.
100%. Cheers, brother. Good luck. We'll chat to you soon.
Cheers, man. Have a great day. Bye.
You too. Ciao.